Peace everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Crystal and this is Evolving Into Her. For those of you who do not know what this channel is about, it's basically my digital documentary of my evolution into the version of myself that I see in my mind and my highest vibration during this human experience. So welcome to my channel and let's get right into what this video is about. So this evolution, I really began taking it seriously coming into this year, 2022. One of the things that I intuitively knew that I needed to do was I needed to focus on myself. I needed to embark on a journey of self. I needed to heal myself and love myself and get to know myself and just work on myself and focus on my life and the things that are important to me, the goals that I want to accomplish, the lifestyle that I want to materialize, and just all things of that nature. It's one of those things where intuitively I knew I needed to do it, but I was not reflecting that in my actions. I was not reflecting that in how I live my life on a day-to-day basis. So coming into this year, I really committed to this idea of living my life where I just focus on myself and I eliminate everything that's a distraction and not in alignment with my future self and the goals that I want to accomplish. And that was not easy for me, y'all. Like, it was not something that I declared for myself and from that day forward is what it was. No, I really struggle with this. Like, my sun is in Libra. Libra is heavy in my chart. I'm always trying to balance some stuff out. And I literally have spent the past 6-7 months of trying to balance out my old self with my new self. You know, this new evolved version of myself that I aspire to be and I see in my mind and I know is a possibility for me. But I also have this older version of myself that I'm comfortable with. So I've learned some things that are non-negotiable, that are basically requirements when you want to just focus on yourself and ultimately embark on the whole journey of thyself. And I want to share that with you because I'm pretty sure if you clicked on this video, then there's a part of you intuitively that know you need to do this as well. And maybe you don't know where to start, or maybe you're unsure of what you should do, how you should go about that. So I'm going to share my experience with you and let you know the things that I have learned along the way. It's 4 things and I'm just gonna tell it to you guys in the order that it came to me. First things first, I knew that I needed to abstain from having sex for a while. And for me, that meant not talking to any guys, not dating any guys, not entertaining men in any kind of way. I needed a mental reset, and I had really realized that men were becoming a distraction, like dating and talking to men. That was really becoming a distraction too. I felt like being celibate would be easy for me because there have been times in my life where I have abstained from having sex with anyone for over a year. However, those times were always related to pregnancy in some way. You know, like maybe I was with child, maybe I just had a baby, and I just wasn't in a space where I desired to be sexual with anyone. This time around, there's no baby involved. There's nothing going on with my body, no changes or anything like that. So it's a different type of motivating force behind it. So I knew it would be challenging, but I didn't know exactly how challenging it was going to be for me. Now, I made it 4 months abstaining from sex. And then I had a moment of weakness, y'all. And from there, it just kind of like opened up the doors for my old self to get comfortable. Before you know it, I'm distracted as I'm not putting my 100% all into me, pouring into me and focusing on the things that I want to do in life. You know, because my phone's ringing. You want to go here, you want to go out there, you want to do this, you want to do that. And I remember even like trying to fool myself into thinking that I could just have like a cuddy buddy situation, you know, where we have an understanding and we only link up when it's time to have sex. But who am I? I was kidding myself because sex lingers on with you. There's always strings attached, and you know, it's still a form of distraction. And the quality of men that I was dating was definitely the type that I would say my old self is attracted to. You know, my new self, this evolved self that I see myself being, is definitely not interested in these type of men anymore. Bottom line, they're a distraction for me right now. I'm not choosing the type that I desire. I'm not getting the results back that I would like, and I just need a break. I need to abstain from men, period. So here we are in July, and I'm back on track, abstaining from sex, abstaining from dating, and entertaining myself with men. And I do plan on remaining this way, at least for the rest of this year. Like, I want to give myself the next 6 months to just really focus on myself, my life, my goals, and just see how much I can accomplish for myself. So that's the first thing. Now, once I got that out the way, I realized that it was time for me to do the second thing, which is take time to self-evaluate yourself. This is a major, major key. And you should always take time to self-evaluate yourself throughout life. Like, this isn't something you should just do for this moment. This should be a habit. Anytime you find yourself in a situation where you're unhappy, you feel unfulfilled in life, you need to self-evaluate, because it's ultimately your fault that you are where you are, that you're going through what you're going through. And we have a tendency, you know, to just want to point the finger and blame other people, but there's power in holding yourself accountable. There's power in admitting to yourself, no, it's my fault that I'm not where I'm supposed to be right now, because of the choices that I've made and the decisions that I've made have gotten me this far. And I want to get here. So in order for me to go further in life, I need to make some changes. And it's not nothing that nobody else can do to get me to where I want to go in life. That's hard. Like, that is hard work to do. And I've been real transparent with you guys with these last few videos that I've been uploading, and I'm not going to stop here. I had to admit to myself that I have began to allow men to be a distraction in my life. I had to admit to myself that it's my fault that I don't have a place, and it's my fault that I don't have a place yet, and that I'm still with my mom. Like, I'm not managing my money correctly. You know, it may be inflation in the midst of this pandemic, but that's still no excuse. I had to admit to myself that I'm not losing weight because I have poor eating habits and I'm not working out consistently. My workout ethic sucks. I mean, I had to even go so far as to admit to myself that even though I'm praying and I have faith that these things will come for me, that there's a part of me that doesn't believe in myself, and I need to work on that. So self-evaluation is key. Self-evaluation allows you to be real with yourself, and most importantly, self-evaluation allows you to get out of your own way, because ultimately you are the only person who can stop yourself or hold yourself back from getting anything that you want out of life. So that's the second thing. After I sat with myself, and this self-evaluation was definitely not just a one session thing, okay? Like, it's a process. And so after I went through that process, I moved on to another process, which was some more deep inner work, where basically I just had to figure out what I want. What do I want out of life? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? What makes me happy? Truly, truly happy. So I had to go back to my vision boards, because I make vision boards every year. So I needed to go back like 4 or 5 years and figure out what was the goals, what was the things that I wrote on here that I've forgotten about. I had to go back to my journals and reflect on some entries, because I also journal. I had to get real primal and call on my inner child and remember what were the things that I said I wanted to be when I grew up. I had to really just reflect on everything, my whole life, and get back into alignment with my purpose. I had to visualize my life. I had to sit with myself and meditate. and really just figure out what it is that I want out of life. Whether it be just write a list of things that make me happy, write a list of what my talents are, my gifts are, what are my creative in, what are creative things that I've done in my past. Like, really sit down with yourself and do this work, and keep doing the work until you have some solid answers and you have figured out, okay, this is what I want out of life. So once I got some type of direction and answers to those questions, I realized the fourth thing, which was very challenging and still is challenging for me. But it was put some distance between myself and my friends. And for you, it may be friends and family. For me, I needed to put some distance between myself and my friends. And this was hard because I feel like life had already weeded out the bad friends. You know how you have friends or people around you who secretly are envious and jealous of you. They talk about you behind your back, but they smile up in your face. They secretly sabotage you, but also try to uplift you at the same time. Like, I kind of feel like life weeded all of those friends out. My circle is small. Like, my circle is practically a square, literally. And the people who I do call friends and consider friends, like, I don't have to worry about them doing those type of things with me. So that made it hard because I didn't have a reason to cut them off or cut them out of my life. Still, I realized that I needed to put some distance between myself and them, because when you do this work, when you sit down and self-evaluate, and then you sit down and you really figure out what it is you want out of life, then you realize what you need to do in order to get the things that you want. Then you realize the changes that you need to make and the things that you need to do to get out of your way so that you can have the things that you want. And once you realize what needs to be done, you see that you've been wasting a lot of time. And for me, I was wasting time with my friends. Chilling, drinking, gossiping, partying, watching TV, spending money on, just having a good time and just hanging out, all of that type of stuff. Those are all things that my old self is comfortable doing. But what I really need to be doing is getting uncomfortable. I need to be networking. I need to be building. I need to be uplifting and uplifted with the people that I'm around. I need to be being motivated and inspired and challenged. I need to be putting myself in rooms that make me uncomfortable. I need to get around mentors. I need to shift my environment. And I realized that as good as my friends may be, as good of a people as they may be to me, when we get together, we're not on that type of time. That is not how we are utilizing our time with each other. And so, in a sense, I had to admit something that's very hard for me to say out loud. You may not be a bad person, but right now you're not good for me. Because I hate everything about normalized society standards of how we should live our life. Like, I hate it, and I'm ready to change my lifestyle. Like, I'm fed up. And I'm talking about putting distance between the few friends that I have in my life because I'm ready to make this change. And that's scary, because being lonely is scary, being lonely is not fun. But I have to remind myself that I'm embarking on a journey of self. I'm focusing on myself, and that means loneliness is going to come along with it, not having people call my phone, wanting to hang out and do things that my old self is comfortable with doing, because my old self is comfortable with that type of lifestyle. This new version of myself is not. I've got to put distance between myself, and ultimately I have to think of it as I'm making space for people who can hold space with me, for people who I can network with and build with and uplift as they uplift me and inspire and motivate and challenge me and all those other things that I said earlier. I have to remind myself in moments of loneliness, which could turn into moments of weakness, that nothing else matters. Nothing else matters but my desires. So when I want to pick up the phone and call somebody, whether it be a friend or a man, I have to remind myself nothing else matters. Are you about to gain something that is in alignment with your desires right now? And if the answer is no, then I got to be strong enough to put the phone down and just deal with my loneliness and just deal with me. Deal with me, work on me, focus on me. It sounds good when we say it, but it's real work, y'all. Here I am, 7 months into this journey, and I get it. Your new life is gonna cost you your old life. And that means everything that you are comfortable with doing. Not happy with, not fulfilled with, because even though I'm comfortable doing those things, clearly I'm not happy and fulfilled because there's a part of me that desires to grow beyond that. So I have to be willing to sacrifice anything and everything and anyone and everyone in order to get the things that I truly desire out of life. So that's it, y'all. Those are my 4 things. I highly recommend that you take them into consideration, especially if you are feeling like you want to just focus on yourself and upgrade yourself, level up, boss up in life, whatever you want to call it. If you know that you really need to take some time out to just focus on yourself, then I highly recommend that you take into consideration applying those 4 things that I just gave you to your life. And I thank you for tuning into this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you do, don't forget to turn on your notifications, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.